Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Scottie Taylor Jr Podcast. If you are watching this, then welcome from Sorrento, Italy. I'm recording this episode while sipping my Pellegrino water and my fresh Sorrento lemon that my Airbnb host left in the Airbnb for me. That was super nice of him. I'm overlooking this beautiful landscape, so I'm feeling really inspired. And today's episode, I'm super jacked about because as I was brainstorming and researching for this episode, I felt really compelled to share the idea that a certain amount of income is not going to eliminate all of your anxiety. So that's going to be the theme for today's episode. And so if you're somebody who feels anxious or stressed around business, whether it is, you're not making as much as you want to, or you have bills, or you're investing in yourself, or you're just not at the level that you really want to be at, and that's stressing you out because you're like, why do I feel stuck? Like, why can't I finally relax and let myself, just enjoy the life that I've created? Then this episode is going to be for you. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, my friends, so I'm going to tell you a quick story about how this episode kind of came to be, and it really starts with my career as a financial advisor. So previous to becoming a financial advisor, I worked in corporate America for a while. I started a different business before I jumped into becoming a financial advisor. And now, of course, I own real estate. I have my financial planning practice. I also have a thriving and very rapidly growing coaching business where I coach other financial advisors on how to become a master at prospecting, right? And so the story starts in 2018. So that's when the year I became a financial advisor. And that year I had set a goal where I really wanted to make $100,000 of revenue. That was like my ultimate goal. And up until that point, in all of my years working in corporate America, the most I had ever made in one full year was $78,000. So I worked at PricewaterhouseCoopers as a associate and senior associate. I got promoted, I got bonuses, and then I moved over to Ralph Lauren, and I worked in business development at Ralph Lauren for a couple of years. And when I quit, the most money I had ever made in one full year when I looked at my tax returns was $78,000. So when I joined my financial planning business and when I started that, I was thinking to myself, okay, it would be great to at least make $100,000 a year. Like that would be a great year for me. And so that's when I started. That's what I explained to my managing director and what I shared with other advisors, and I shared with my best friend Ashley, who also helped me come into the business. And so I had this goal of $100,000 in my mind. Now, at the same time, in 2018, I also created my first Think and Grow Rich statement. And my first Think and Grow Rich statement, if you're not familiar with Think and Grow Rich, it's from Napoleon Hill, and he is one of the founders of like Law of Success and Law of Attraction. And he's from the 1920s, 1930s, written a lot of amazing books. Definitely Google him if you're not familiar. But Think and Grow Rich is one of his seminal masterpieces that teaches you that you can make a certain amount of money if you create a Think and Grow Rich statement. And I have another episode that goes into detail on my Think and Grow Rich statement. But for this conversation, I had set a goal of $250,000 of revenue. And I don't know if this is going to resonate with any of you, but when I set that goal, I remember so vividly thinking, when I hit that, like, holy shit, everything is going to be so different. I remember so vividly thinking that when I hit 250,000, that my life was going to be so easy. Like, I really honestly thought, like, if I do 250, I will never need more than that on an annual basis. Like, $250,000, top pinnacle, I can't possibly want or need more than that. And that's what I thought in 2018, 2017, when I had that number in my mind. And when I wrote my Think and Grow Rich statement in 2018, I truly believed that in my core, that when I hit 250,000, not only is that like the pinnacle of success, but I'm never going to need more than that. I truly believe that. And the interesting thing is, all of us, we want money for one reason only: for freedom. money is synonymous with freedom for the majority of us. Meaning that the reason we want more money is we want to feel a certain emotion, right? Security, freedom, we want to be able to buy things, we want to be able to take care of our parents. And so the desire for money is really the desire for an emotion, whatever that emotion might be for you. Usually it's freedom, but it could also be security or safety or, joy or excitement of being able to travel and live a fulfilled life or whatever that looks like for you. And so one of the big things, at least for me, when I was creating this goal of $250,000 of revenue, was this feeling that I'm not going to feel stress or anxiety anymore when I hit that goal. Like when I hit 250,000, I'm not going to feel any more stress. And that's the reason why I set the goal, because in my mind, setting the goal was the intention for setting the goal is, let me set this goal. I hit it, boom, stress-free. Like life is stress-free. And so the interesting thing about this, and this is really where I want to share how things have shifted and how things have pivoted. And then again, what I want to share with all of you is how to actually alleviate anxiety without having to hit a goal, right? The goal, you're going to learn, at least from my experience, did not provide that level of security and safety, right? So in 2019, which was under 2 years in my financial planning business, so I had started in early 2018. In 2019, in the full calendar year, so from January to December, I hit 255,000 of revenue. And I didn't actually realize that I hit it until I looked back and I did my taxes, because I wasn't really thinking about it. I wrote that statement in early 2018 and I looked at it every now and then, but I didn't really put two and two together. And so when I realized that I hit it, I think this was maybe February or March of 2020, maybe even later than that. I don't remember exactly when, but I remember looking at it and being like, holy shit, like I did it. I actually did it. I fucking did it. I hit 255. I even surpassed my goal. And this is a year and a half after setting the goal. And I remember thinking to myself, I was so proud of myself. I was so excited. I was so proud. But I also thought to myself at the same time, nothing's changed. Nothing's different. I'm the same me. I have the same challenges in life, if not different challenges. And despite hitting 250,000 of revenue, I didn't have this like magical feeling of peace and calmness. Like, it's not like I hit that number and I was like, okay, everything's fine. And the reason for this is because when we elevate to next levels of income or success, our problems also elevate to that level. So we handle the level of problems that we're capable of handling, or I don't remember who said it. There's an entrepreneur that said that your income will rise to the level of problems that you can handle in your business. Maybe this is James Wedmore, maybe it's Mark Zuckerberg. I don't remember. If I figure that out, I'll let y'all know in the show notes. But the rising to 255,000 of revenue for that year was amazing, but I didn't reach this level of, okay, everything's good and I don't have to worry anymore. There's no stress and there's no anxiety. And that's what I thought was going to happen. And maybe that's naive. And maybe you're sitting here thinking like, Scottie, that was a naive thing to think. But the reality was that I would look around to other people and I'd see them making more money. And I just assumed that once you hit a certain level of income, that everything was easier, right? And so a couple of things happened. And I'm going to share with you the two primary reasons why the income didn't actually change anything. So first and foremost, the income, when I hit that 255, my expenses also went up. Not just my personal expenses, but with my business growing, I had to hire staff. I had to start paying for rent for my office space. I had to pay my cell phone bill. I had to pay my computer bill. I had all the technology expenses. But staff and like a business coach were big investments at the time for me. And so, yes, my income was rising, but so were my expenses to support a business that could make 250,000 or more. That's the first piece of it. The second piece of it is that hitting an income number for a full year is great, but if you think about it from a cash flow perspective, Every month I have savings goals, I have income goals, I have spending amounts. And so, yes, I made a lot of money that year, but every month I was saving a little bit more or spending a little bit more. And so net, it's not like there was $250,000 in my bank account. There was more, but it wasn't enough for me to be financially free at that point. And so that's when I had the awareness to say, okay, so hitting a certain income level is not going to give me freedom. I'm not going to feel freedom by hitting a number. And so first and foremost, I dug deeper into the energetics of money, and I realized that money does not provide you feelings of security and freedom. Those are emotions that we can choose to feel that money can amplify. So if you're sitting here thinking like I did, or I used to think, that, okay, I'm gonna, like, Scottie, once I hit 200,000, I'm gonna be good, or once I hit 400,000, or whatever your number is, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna feel great. I'm gonna challenge you, and from my personal experience, and now with working with 80 plus financial advisors, the money does not make you feel a certain way. You have to choose to feel that way, and the money will amplify it. That's first and foremost. So here's what I was reflecting back on the past couple of days. So if you've been following me on social media, you'll know that over the past month and a half, I've been in Italy working and traveling and doing different things. And one of the things that has really opened my eyes is the traveling and the being able to move around. All of that is amazing, but the anxiety doesn't go away when you make more money. It just turns into different types of anxiety. And so here's the solution that I've developed to really, truly feel less anxiety. So when I think about my business and I think about, like, what do I want my business to look like? What I envision is being able to look at this beautiful Almalfi coast, make money, and not feel stressed about, shit, how much money am I gonna make next month? Do I have enough? I just wanna feel in total flow. Right? I want to be able to feel like money's coming in, money's going out, and there's no stress about any part of my business. I still have to show up. I still have to talk to clients. I still have to operate and act as a business owner. There's still things for me to do, but there's a difference between the doing in my business and then the stressing about my business. So showing up and doing sales calls or meeting people or creating content, that's all the doing. The Sunday afternoon when I'm walking around Positano or Sorrento or Almalfi coast thinking, shit, am I gonna have enough money coming in this next week? That's the part where I'm like, fuck that. We gotta figure out a way of eliminating that. So now, here's where I'm gonna share with you the solution that I developed that I think is going to radically transform how you think about your business and honestly truly get to that place where you are feeling freedom, you're feeling relaxed, your business is flowing, and you're able to let go of that pressure and that anxiety of like, fuck, can I keep this up, right? So again, just to recap before I dig into it, initially I thought when I hit 250,000 of revenue, I'll feel a certain way and I'll be able to let go of the stress and anxiety. That did not happen. The stress and anxiety was still there. So now the question is, if hitting a certain level of income doesn't dissipate all of your anxiety, it doesn't get rid of all of your anxiety, then what does? The answer is creating a system for bringing people, aka leads, in the door. And this is what I've been creating in my coaching business, and this is what I created in my financial planning business. And I'll share with you what I'm doing in my coaching business currently to give you some flavor for how I'm operating and implementing this on a day-to-day basis. And this is raw and real, and this is what I'm working on currently. And just know that these things are constantly evolving, but the truth and the reality is that I realized that if I have enough people coming in the door, I can schedule the sales calls, I can close the business, and I can make enough money. But all of it comes down to the first thing, which is bringing in leads. If I don't have people coming into my world, booking sales calls with me, then I'm going to feel the stress and anxiety of, fuck, do I have enough things? Do I have enough money? Do I have enough sales calls? Do I have enough clients? Do I have enough things happening in order for me to make the money that I want to make, that I choose to make? So it all starts with the front end. This took me so long to fully understand and realize. And so the solution to all of this is to create a system to bring people in the door. So here's what I'm operating under as in my coaching business. So again, I coach financial advisors on becoming masters at prospecting. So this is essentially, this process is exactly what I teach other advisors. So first and foremost, I have a clearly identifiable target market, and I understand their pain points. This cannot be overstated. I'm not going to go into super deep detail here because I have a lot of other episodes that talk about target markets. So feel free to go back through my podcast episodes and find the ones around creating a target market and why it's so powerful. But having that clearly identifiable target market has helped me with my messaging. So when I create content, it helps me with my LinkedIn automation campaign. I know who to target. Helps me with my Facebook ads. I know who to target with my Facebook ads. And I understand the problem that financial advisors face, which is not having enough referrals, not having enough leads, and I provide a solution for that. Number one. Number two, so in this world of me getting more clients into my coaching business, I've created a couple different avenues. So number one, this content. So this content I sit and record. I usually do about 20 to 25 minute podcast episodes. The information then gets disseminated to YouTube. It's on my podcast. I then take this video and I have my video editor cut it into 5 different clips, and it goes on TikTok, it goes on Instagram. I pull out content from this. I put it on Threads. I put it on Instagram in Twitter style posts. So all in all, I have a content creation strategy, right? This is not like Scottie just hopping on his phone and just recording and talking. I have an outline, I have content, and I have a strategy behind this to get advisors to see my content, reach out to me, grab my free information, and want to explore a conversation, right? So organic free content like this. Number 2, LinkedIn automation campaign. So LinkedIn is such a powerful tool, and I use an automation campaign with really fucking incredible messages that go out every single day. So I can be hanging out on a Saturday or a Sunday. Well, messages don't go out on weekends, but you get my point. Other advisors might see my message, respond back and be like, yes, I'm interested in a call, right? And then number 3, I have a Facebook ads campaign that is currently in works where I'm going to be sending out ads to specific types of advisors that I know I work really well with, solve a specific problem, offer free content, offer free advice, all of that so that they can see me get into my universe and be like, holy shit, I need more of this. Let me explore joining Scottie's signature program because I know that will teach me how to become a master at prospecting. Highly specific pain point that I solve for a specific target market. So wrapping this together, the point I want to make in all of this is not for you to do exactly what I'm doing, right? I'm just being totally transparent with what I'm currently doing right now in my business so you can see firsthand how I'm operating, creating a system. But number 1, like this is what it all comes down to. I have a system. I have a repeatable system for people to come in the door. And so when I wake up on a Monday morning, right? So today is Monday at 4:30 in the afternoon. I look at my calendar and I'm like, I know my calendar is going to be full. I'm not stressed about it. I know what I need to do, right? I need to send the emails. I need to send the LinkedIn messages. I need to respond to them. I got to create the content. I have things to do, right? I don't want anyone to think that I'm just like waking up and being like, whoa, all these people are on my calendar. Like I do things, but it's so strategic and it's so specific. And I'm constantly asking myself, how do I create more efficiencies in my process and in my system so I don't have to show up in the same capacity and more things can just be happening on the back end? So the system, the prospecting system, is what brings advisors in the door. They're interested in chatting, they book a call with me, and then I know that on the other side of things, I can work on my sales calls, I can work on my effectiveness. I can add more content to my program. I can do other things to create more efficiencies in my sales. But all of that would be a moot fucking point if you don't have people in the door. So if you are a entrepreneur, some type of service-based entrepreneur, but I'm going to talk to financial advisors specifically, your number one opportunity to feel less stress and less anxiety is to create a system for bringing leads in the door. Period. End of story. If you are in a profession where you are required to make new clients, you need to have a system for bringing in those clients. It can be social media, it can be referrals, it can like through prospecting through your clients, it can be through going to networking events. It doesn't matter what it is that you do. Well, I'm not going to say that. It actually does matter. There are more effective and less effective ways of doing this, but at the end of the day, you need a system. And the system is what provides that peace of mind to be like, yes, it's taken care of. Now, here's the last piece. This is a little bonus elevated CEO tip that I feel compelled to share with you. So once you have the system in place, that next step, this is the final step of the solution, is to trust. Just trust that the system will work. Surrender to the fact that this process and that this system works. If you're an advisor and you join my prospecting program, the Financial Advisor Academy, you implement those systems, you implement the prospecting system, and then you have to trust that it will work. If you don't trust that it will work, then what will happen is you'll find yourself constantly worrying and stressing and pushing and feeling like you gotta just keep making things happen. Like I gotta keep gotta make things happen, instead of taking a step back and allowing things to happen. And I'm really talking to myself just as much as I'm talking to you right now, because no matter how much I can preach this is still something that I work on. So today, on Mondays are my CEO day. So Mondays are my content creation days. I sit, I journal, I have a soy milk latte here because I don't really do almond milk or oat milk. So I do soy milk here, which is not really what I typically do. I drink my Pellegrino water with my lemon. Give me 1 second. I just needed to take a sip here because I was ranting and raving. And I create content for the week. And that's what I sit down and I do. But this morning, I went to Positano, so I'm staying in Sorrento, and we drove to Positano, we walked around, we got lunch, and it's so easy for me, because I'm such a high achiever, such a type A personality, to get looped into this thought of like, fuck, what am I gonna do later? What content am I gonna create? Do I have enough meetings on my calendar? And then I could be checking my email and I could be working. All of that is a sign of insecurity in the process. If the process works, then why am I stressing about it? If I have a system for bringing in leads, then why am I allowing my brain to go off into the world of, do I have enough? Is it gonna be enough? Where's the money gonna come from? I understand that my brain is wired to think that way, right? Our brains are wired to find the problems and what could go wrong. So this is an active process that I focus on consistently to be like, it's okay. The system is there. You can enjoy yourself. You can have this beautiful lunch overlooking the water in Positano. When you get back, you know what you're gonna work on because the system's in place. You got your activities. I have my little to-do list right here, and I focus and I get it done. And I get it done quickly, efficiently, and effectively. And that's the life that I fucking want for you and for myself. I want a life for both of us where we can do shit that we want to do without the stress or anxiety of, fuck, is my business gonna fall apart on the back end? And once again, I'm telling you that I'm sharing with you the reality that at least I've experienced, that bringing people in the door, when you solve that problem, everything else gets so much fucking easier. Okay, my friends, I love you. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so excited to hear what you think. Shoot me a message on Instagram. And also, I would be so happy if you would rate my podcast and give it the number of stars that you think it deserves. So I'm not going to tell you to give it 5 stars, even though that would be my hope. But if you're getting value and you appreciate this, that would do wonders for my ranking and my ability to create more content for you for free like this one. I love you. Have an awesome rest of your day. I'm going to get back to eating my cheese and drinking my Pellegrino water. And I will see you on the next episode. Goodbye, my friends.